posso il suo. Sono fortunato io oggi. Hi Brian.
Ciao, grazie per avermi invitato.
Yeah. Allora, io sono felice, lo stavo dicendo prima, di essere qui con te. Vedi quante domande si possono fare a un personaggio che è storia della musica come sei tu. Iniziamo a parlare di questa esperienza, la prima, la vedete qui in CD di Brian May, Back to the Lights, è il titolo.
Ehi, cos'è questo?
Vedete, neanche lui lo
non l'avevo
conosceva
mai visto.
questo CD. Noi di Top 20 siamo riusciti ad averlo un attimo in anticipo, ogni tanto si fanno anche queste cose, poi te lo regaliamo. Allora, Brian, Back to the Lights, ma il titolo l'hai scelto tu o Spielberg, visto i film tanto famosi?
No, è stata un'emozione diversa che mi ha ispirato. Non ho niente contro Spielberg, anzi è un mio idolo, ma il titolo è mio.
Ok. Allora, Brian, tu hai scritto, a proposito di Back to the Lights, che se noi sapessimo da dove proviene la luce sarebbe molto più facile arrivarci. È forse una cosa mistica, ma vale la pena di spiegare quello che tu hai scritto.
Ma chi può saperlo? Probabilmente sì. Non è comunque un album religioso. Probabilmente è una cosa mistica, ma solo a livello personale. Quando cominciai a registrare l'album mi sentivo triste ed estremamente depresso. E l'immagine che la gente aveva di Brian May, della rockstar con tutto a posto e in ordine, non esisteva nella realtà. Avevo un grande caos dentro me. Generalmente per crearsi problemi o come giustificazione della propria depressione, la gente usa droga o alcol, ma nel mio caso non era questo il problema. Erano successe troppe cose nello stesso momento e mi avevano privato dell'identità. Mi avevano svuotato a tal punto che non sapevo più chi ero. Prima morì mio padre, poi la vita familiare divenne sempre più triste e il nostro gruppo non lavorava e non suonava più. Io non sapevo cosa fare. Mi sentivo solo triste e depresso. A un certo punto capii che dovevo reagire, facendo qualcosa che mi tirasse su, che mi riportasse alla luce. Quindi cominciai a lavorare prima di tutto per me stesso e successivamente per aiutare altra gente a tirarsi sul morale. Devo dire che prima di comporre quest'album ero sull'orlo dell'autodistruzione e se non avessi avuto la responsabilità dei figli probabilmente l'avrei fatto. Poi questo album mi ha ricaricato, mi ha dato l'ispirazione e la ragione per continuare, per andare avanti.
Tu hai detto che la persona che ha cominciato questo album 5 anni fa è molto differente da quella che l'ha finito. Spieghiamolo un attimo perché credo sia importante capirlo, perché questo album ha un suo percorso nel tempo.
Sono successe moltissime cose durante questi 5 anni. Inizialmente successe quello di cui ho raccontato in precedenza e successivamente arrivò un carico di lavoro enorme col gruppo. Avevo quindi il terrore che non mi rimanesse tempo da dedicare ai bambini e alla famiglia. Durante questi anni ho cercato delle piccole schegge di conoscenza per ritrovare innanzitutto me stesso e la vita. Poi gradatamente sono riuscito a dare delle risposte ai miei quesiti.
Senti, Too Much Love Will Kill You è stato il secondo singolo della tua carriera e lo hai cantato davanti a 72.000 persone a Wembley. Ecco, che effetto ti ha fatto cantare questa canzone così particolare che poi non era totalmente sconosciuta, appunto essendo il tuo secondo disco in quell'occasione particolare?
Più che un'emozione è stato uno spavento, avevo quasi paura. È stato molto difficile fare quel concerto in memoria di Freddie. Tu parlavi della presenza di 70.000 spettatori, ma in realtà c'erano milioni di persone di fronte al televisore e io questo lo sentivo. La tentazione di dire no, grazie, non ce la faccio, è sempre stata grande, ma sentivo la necessità di onorare la memoria di Freddie, quasi come un dovere personale. Quindi, nonostante l'estrema difficoltà psicologica, sapevo che dovevo farlo. Era un atto dovuto, doveroso.
Senti, posso avere un ricordo di Freddie Mercury da te? Credo che sei la persona più adatta, visto che tutte le canzoni di Queen le avete scritte voi.
Molte canzoni mi ricordano Freddie, anche se preferisco tenerlo nella memoria soprattutto per il suo senso dell'umorismo, molto dispettoso, abrasivo, tagliente. Con il suo viso poteva dire alcune cose in modo molto aggressivo, facendo credere magari di essere cattivo. Invece si divertiva a non far capire che scherzava, trasformando il tutto in una presa in giro, in un dispetto. Molte volte la gente non capiva che voleva divertirsi in modo diverso. Senti, un altro ricordo di Freddie era la sua continua insoddisfazione nel lavoro. Magari ascoltava un pezzo e diceva «Sì, è bello, ma puoi fare di meglio». Persino in questo mio album ho avuto la sensazione di rivederlo mentre mi ripeteva questa frase.
Brian, thanks for coming here, grazie per i Queen, grazie per tutto quello che hai dato alla musica e grazie per essere stato qui con noi a Top 20. Ciao.
Back to the Light, il nuovo album, la nuova carriera solista, il brillante ritorno sulle scene. Brian May, Back to the Light. Compact disc, album, musicassetta, EMI.
I distinctly remember the time when I first picked up the guitar, which was on my 7th birthday. I mean, that was the first time I had my own guitar in my hands, which I'd asked for as a present. And my dad had taught me some chords on the ukulele. And I had this apparently massive instrument in bed with me on the morning I woke up. I remember trying to figure out what you did with the other 2 strings. And I kind of made it up as I went along. But the actual reason that I picked it up, I think, was I was just desperate to make that sound, really, to make that noise. It just enveloped me. It was so exciting. The guitar gives you a kind of defense weapon. And it also gives you a way of speaking. You know, if you're not that confident at speaking to people, your guitar does become a voice. I really think it does. It becomes an excuse for not having to explain yourself. I made my own guitar with my dad because we really couldn't afford to buy any of the stuff that was out there at the time. I couldn't even buy the copies of Stratocasters and Telecasters and Gibson Les Pauls. They were all kind of in the sky. So we made the guitar, and in the beginning I was a little bit conscious of the fact that it sounded different from everybody else, and I was a bit worried about it. But I gradually realized that the thing had more range than any of those guitars anyway, so I just began to use it, and it became me, it became my sound.
Does anybody know what we are looking for? Another hero, another mindless crime behind the curtain in the pantomime.
With Freddie for most of my grown-up life, 25 years or so. So it really was and is very disorienting. It's like losing a member of the family. It means you have to redraw, and there's a terrible sort of hole there, you know. So for me it was good just to plunge into working, because working is the great cure as far as I'm concerned. If you're not working, you have too much time to feel sorry for yourself. You know, I think it's almost too early to have an overview of Queen, because it's we're still very busy with all the stuff that Queen is bringing at the moment. You know, there's quite a flurry of activity, obviously. So I don't feel distanced enough from it to be able to view it as a piece of history. I still feel like I'm part of it, although I think that we can never be Queen again because, you know, we don't have Freddie. I think it's a nonsense to be called Queen without Freddie.
I'll soon be turning round the corner now. Outside the dawn is breaking, but inside in the dark I'll make it to be free.
My feelings about it are mainly that I think we're all very fortunate because it was a magical combination. It doesn't happen very often. We had 4 people who were balanced in the musical sense. You know, we were able to fill each other's gaps, and also in many other ways. You know, it's hard to handle yourself as a group, as a long-term situation. Same as a marriage or whatever. I think you have to be able to get on really well, or if you don't get on at a particular point, you have to be able to handle that fact and put the necessary distances in and give people their privacy. And we were able to, I mean, we're just lucky. We brought all these different pieces of stuff into the pot, and it worked. It very seldom does. So I think we had a really wonderful time, haven't we? And we were able to do anything that we felt like musically, really. We didn't have an audience that demanded that we would make another hit like the last one, which is very, very lucky for us, because some people do, I think. Maybe some people invite that, I don't know. But certainly we felt that we could go out on any limb that we wanted, and there was a good chance that people would be with us. So there was never this business of making music to a formula for a market. We just didn't enter into it. We do what we feel.
Those were the days of our lives. The bad things in life were so few. Those days are all gone now, but one thing is true. When I look and I find I still love you. I'm just the pieces of the man I used to be. Too many bitter tears are raining down on me.
The whole Queen thing was so, I mean, and still is, so consuming that you get very little time off to do anything. And so I would do a couple of tracks and then leave it for a few months, and before I knew what had happened, you know, a couple of years had passed or something, you know, I hadn't done much more. It's quite strange. But in a way, I think it's been good for this album because it spans quite a long time and it spans a big range of feelings and my own views of life, etc. So it's, I think in a way that makes this record more readable, more valuable as a look at how people feel.
I'm just the pieces of the man I used to be. Too many bitter tears are raining down on me. I'm far away from home, and I've been facing this alone for much too long.
Funny, if this were a Queen album, I'd probably be worrying that it wasn't heavy enough, you know. And it's not representative of the album, because the album is pretty heavy and pretty sort of sweaty, you know. But Too Much Love Will Kill You is a ballad which I've lived with for over 5 years now, and it's become something very sort of pivotal in my life. And I wrote it at a time when I was very depressed and very unable to move. It happened when I was in America trying to get away from life. And I wrote it with a couple of friends who I just met, who sort of helped me get it out of my system. It was like a cathartic thing, almost like a sort of therapy session. And at the end of it, I had this song. And it's been sort of very close to me ever since. I'm much more concerned with the meaning of the song than anything else, because I think it's something that many people will relate to.
Too much love will kill you, just as sure as none at all. It'll drain the fire that's in you, make you bleed and scream and crawl, and the pain will make you crazy. You're the victim of your crime. Too much love will kill you every
Danger of making solo albums is that you can get very stuck away and very too hermit-like, and it was very good for me that I was able to get out occasionally. And things like Guns N' Roses asking me to get up and play was a great shot in the arm. It was very good to just input, floods of input, and to get up with them was a really good feeling. They're very, very much like us at the height of our touring period, I think. You know, I felt very at home on their stage, with their crew, with their kind of setup and monitor systems. It was really a great feeling.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Brian May. This is called Tie Your Mother Down.
Legends came right in the middle of me trying to finish off the album, which happened over the last 9 months or so, and Guitar Legends was just dropped in my lap, which I was very pleased about. I hadn't expected it, and normally I would have said no, but I was just so excited about the prospect of choosing anyone I liked, basically, to go and do a show with, that I really jumped at it. And I needed input, you know, we all need input. You can spend too long in the air.
How do you feel being back with a solo project?
At this moment, I feel tired because I let myself in for doing so much talking, you know, and it's a process which can hurt you after a while. But actually, I feel very good about the solo project. I feel it's something more important to me than a lot of the Queen stuff because it's more personal and more direct. And for me, it's a way of moving on. I'm very proud of the Queen catalogue, and I think we did some good stuff together, but I had a great need to get out and be me. So it's very important for me. It's also a great challenge because it will be scary, you know, suddenly I don't have the support of the other 3 guys. But I feel up for the challenge. I'm excited by the thought that I have some new things to do in my life. It's incredible, really good.
I'm just the shadow of the man I used to be.
Let's talk about a beautiful single. I like it very much.
Thank you.
Do you think, I think listening to it that it is a kind of sad song, maybe coming from the experience you had in your whole life, is it?
Yes, it's very black. Excuse me.
Sorry. God bless you.
Okay, thank you. Yes, it's very black, and I wrote it 5 years ago, and the song really has no hope in it. It's very, it's a song in which a man feels very sorry for himself, you know. If I was writing it now, I would write it differently, but to me the value of the thing is that it expresses a particular state of mind, and all the songs on the album represent different states of mind and different points on this journey that I was trying to make. So, yeah, my wonderful therapist tells me that if I rewrite Too Much Love Will Kill You, it will be called Too Much Unhealthy Dependence May Lead to Psychiatric Symptoms. Okay?
Yeah.
In other words, maybe it wasn't too much love that was killing me, it was too much need.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and it was, I was very bad. It was very serious for me. And I wrestled with this problem for many, many months, and a lot of my time was wasted, you know, I just couldn't move. So, luckily, the complete album has a lot of different things on it, and the final things that I put in there are very optimistic. I managed to find a little bit more strength and a bit of vision and a feeling that the spirit did have some place to go. You know, there was a way out.
Too much love will kill you in the end. In the end.
On the album there is a little speech that you wrote presenting the album. Would you talk about it. It seems that it's a little bit pessimistic, but in the end you gave a sort of optimistic statement.
Yeah. Wait till he shuts this door.
And so,
yes, that's right. And I'm glad that there is resurrection on this album, because resurrection is very up. And for me, it was the last piece in the jigsaw puzzle, the last snapshot in the photo album. I'm glad also because I think if people listen to this album and they relate to the black stuff in it, they will find that there is a little bit of an answer in there. I hope anyway, a little bit of lifting of the spirit, which is very important. When I was bad and most depressed, it was always music which was able to give me a little bit of a lift, a little bit of hope.
She used to be a woman with a hot dog stand. Woo-dee-doo. Now you got soup in the laundry bag. Now you got strings, you're gonna lose your rag. You're getting in a fight that ain't so groovy when you're screaming in the night. Let me out of this cheap movie. Hang on.
do you feel at ease being a lyric writer, the main lyrical writer now?
Do I feel at ease?
Yeah, it is.
It's what I do. I think it's one of the most important parts. And to me, the great thing about music is songs. You can have the most wonderful guitar playing, most wonderful arrangements, but if the songs are rubbish,
Yeah.
it adds up to nothing.
Yeah.
So you'll notice that this isn't an album of guitar playing, it's an album of songs. And the lyrics are vitally important. I don't know about feeling at ease with it, but that's what I do, that's what I take most seriously. I also had to take singing fairly seriously because I didn't want anyone else to sing this for me. I spend a lot of my time writing for other people to sing. And this being a personal statement had to be for me. I was optimistic about that at least because I listened to Dylan and I think he can't sing very well. But I always want to listen to him because he gives a personal view of his personal songs. So I thought, nevertheless, I have to give it the best I can. So I really worked very hard on the vocals. I was in there day after day after day, singing and singing. I treated it like a weight training course. I knew where I wanted to get to, and I knew that I had to work hard at it.
And the outside temperature rises, and the meaning is oh so clear.
I just listened to 3 songs of your album because I received it only today. But I listened also Driven by You and I'm Scared. And I felt that there are the tough way, the hard way that Brian May plays music. Maybe now that you are alone without Queen, it's easier to you to play in a harder way, is it?
That's right, yes, I get more freedom. And I do like the hard stuff. That's partly what I'm in it for. I enjoy the power and the glory of guitar music. I love it. It just gives me something. It's music for the head and for the stomach, and I love it. So I'm very fortunate in having a couple of great players to do this with now. I have Cozy Powell and Neil Murray. And
two really heavy players.
Yeah, they're really the best, and both of them I wanted to work with for a long time. So I'm very happy about that, and we're going to go out on tour and do some dates. We start off someplace far away, and then I hope we'll get to Europe in the spring. But I certainly have great hopes that I can forge a new direction with these guys.
Not my usual topic. I'm coming down with a fever. I'm really out to sea. This kettle is boiling over. I think I'm the banana tree. Oh dear. I'm going slightly mad. I'm going slightly mad.
do you think that being involved in the music business had give you the opportunity to have a real relationship with people?
Yeah, it's a wonderful position to be in, and I find that a lot of my dreams came true. I did manage to, in a sense, bring some people together, and the relationship is very strong. The one thing that I didn't learn was to handle my close relationships. I mean,
yeah, you don't have the...
I wish, but I'm still not very good at it. You know, the people that are closest to me, I always hurt, and unfortunately, I don't have the same success privately that I have publicly.
Maybe that's the price that you have to pay for success,
Maybe. I don't know quite what it means yet. I'm still struggling with that. You know, there's something about the music business which gives you a kind of pain and a hunger, and that can be destructive to your relationships.